almost daily in absolution. He needs that, Satan, to build fear and betrayal. A COVID update. It says, I'm sick, because they know it's a bunch of bogus garbage, all this crap. Exhibiting these particular side effects or issues. Phone saying, spy on my family members, and if something happens where we witness something that happens, or sickness, to privately text them so they can come and deal with my family members. Going on and reading this Bible, what happens if their family living in their house already believe they're crazy? They see you with a normal cold, ache, under COVID with sniffles. She or he believes you're supposed to go take a test. See? Because COVID is killing people here. I don't know who you've been listening to online. Da 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 da. And now you got somebody texting in your house. The government to come drag you out to be tested. See, but this is how Satan is playing one end of the society against the other. See, they're just sitting back pulling the strings, sending texts out. Don't worry about it. Send the text out. Excuse me. But eventually,
throw the oop, bro. Throw the oop, bro.
The fear they've created. Satan have now initiated Babylonian agents. Real time Babylonian cells in every household that can be utilized at any time to do Satan's bidding for him. Confusion, because some people don't know what it is. Well, I know something is wrong with it, but I don't know what's going on. Some people say it's politics, some people say it's that. But that's the whole deal. That's where Satan wants you. He wants you confused. He can still use that. Fear. Oh my God, my cousin went there and she was on the respirator. You can't tell me it ain't real. She died and they said it was COVID. They know more than you. Listen, I gotta do everything I can to make sure I stay safe. Fear. Which leads to what? Betrayal. Betrayal. They're doing all this without even, folks, deploying an army on the streets.
What the?
The civilians are doing enough in itself.
Show whack ass third.
To lead to the means to their end. I need you to really understand that. It's the people. It's this unbelieving world now who only trusted in the religion of Babylon, which was their lifestyle. Now that the lifestyle have been pulled up from under them, folks, they're now being turned enemies against God and God's people. And through this fear, through the confusion, they're going to betray.
What? The same people that will be in this case, like for example, when they had a relative die or something, they already knew before COVID ever existed that this person was due probably for death. Their health was so bad. They already were expecting them to die. But as soon as they said all this stuff and ran it on the news, here comes the fear. Well, it must have been from COVID. You know?
Exactly.
So it shows you how that fear can actually lock out reason. Here it is, you knew grandma was already 85. She had all these problems. Y'all was waiting. Y'all literally was having conversations with the family that she may be going soon. But as soon as COVID came, you forgot all about that.
Exactly. What left? Reason. Reason leaves. Great point. Elder lawyer, I'm sorry, you're right. it's a force of habit.
Substitute.
Don't worry about it, you're doing fine. Matthew 24 and 10. Matthew 24 and 10. Right. many shall be what?
And many shall be offended.
Many shall be offended first. So they don't start off this enemy that would lead to them receiving the mark. What triggered them is they felt that they were done wrong, or that someone don't understand them. See? No one understands me. See, folks, we have to be careful when we, believe it or not, and I hear this a lot. All over the world, I be hearing this over and over again. No one understands me. And we have to be careful if we begin to convince ourselves of something like that. That means everyone else is the problem. Everyone else point to the same thing that's wrong that you must correct. But you have convinced yourself, instead of correcting yourself, that just people don't understand you. That's a mental issue there. That's a spirit. Which means, understand you, fine.
Oh,
But you can't accept the fact that I don't agree with you. See, and that's the problem. That leads to the mark, because Satan's first step is to isolate you from everyone else, to make you believe no one understands you, so that you can be a stray bull, straying alone, like it says in the Apocrypha. So we have to make you align yourself, only trust in him, because no one understands you. But through your activity, you have separated yourself from everyone else. And now you are offended. We're dealing with wisdom, common sense 101 today. So that people don't get deluded in their minds, because what will happen is they'll convince themselves that what they're doing is right. Once they feel that they are offended, they will begin to convince themselves they're right. Then they'll start convincing themselves with other things. I don't even know if this Bible stuff is true anyway.
Because the Bible has the code.
Bro, can you hear me, bro? You ain't gotta stay in the paint, bro.
It's one way, so you have to get away from it.
Exactly. So now you have to convince yourself that you don't have to believe in the Bible because you don't like this person. So something must be wrong with the Bible too. So now you don't have to follow the rules in the Bible anymore.
You see how he not in the paint?
Betrayal. Read.
And shall betray one another.
And so what?
And shall betray one another.
And shall betray. Because once you are offended, no one understands me. Satan comes in and I understand you. I understand you. This is how you have to check this person out, because this person isn't who you thought they were. Or he or she would understand you. So what you thought that person was, that it's not. You in your mind you're like, well, yeah, that's true. So since this person is not who you thought he or she was, that's an enemy to you. Can't you see that's an enemy? Yeah, he or she is an enemy. Betray him. Betray her. Call the number.
Yep. Buddy.
I understand you.
Yep, buddy.
See? Elder, let's get Matthew 13 and 21.
Let's go.
Matthew 13, verse 21. Yet hath he not rooted himself.
So you have a person who's not rooted in themselves. See? That foundation of spiritual reasoning. You're not rooted in yourself spiritually. You're easily triggered. Right? And you're not rooted in yourself. And then what happens?
Endure for a while.
So they will endure for a while, read.
But when tribulation or persecution arises,
So when tribulation and persecution arises, now the heat is on. The Most High is now sending a trial your way to see if you're going to choose righteousness. So now a trial comes, like what's going on right now in the whole society, where the whole world thinks it's a pandemic. When they go outside, nothing is happening.
Wow.
That's the sorcery of Babylon. I'm going to get there in a moment. But here it is. Now we're dealing in an environment right now, or in an atmosphere, which is a better word right now, in which there's so much uncertainty now. Every person right now, socially, is being tried.
Why would they make me do that?
Some people are fearful. They're this, that, and the other. When really it's time to lock all the way in with the Most High and say, listen, they're using the principality and the powers of the air. He used frequencies. He used the air. He used the internet. He used the airwaves to instill fear in the people. Eventually, that's going to get into me, and I'm going to become this unstable, unanchored person. Let me cleave to my God. I'm cleaving to my God. I don't care what they're saying on the airwaves, what's online.
Yep, stay there.
I'm standing on the rock and will not be moved emotionally.
No.
But someone goes through a trial. I'm going to tell you, I found out a lot about people through this whole thing, this whole COVID thing. When people say that they're not going to take the mark of the beast, they should think again. Because they're making all of their decisions right now strictly off of emotion and fear. So it's nothing for the powers to be to switch that out with an injection. They can switch out the COVID thing with the injection using the same fear tactics. And guess what? If you failed this time, you'll fail. There's a greater chance you're going to fail the next time. Because you're being moved through your emotions. You're not stable. Read it.
but when tribulation or persecution arises because of the word,
Because of the word.
by and by,
Because what is the word? The word is rational. The word cuts through bone and marrow. So with the word, which is simple and logical, it points out fault. It cut through bone and marrow. And some people would never out there would like to accept the reality of what the Bible is magnifying.
Right.
One thing about this work, being baptized, coming into the word, any level of darkness that's within a vessel will be seen. The Bible will cut through and find the darkness and have all of us see what that is face to face and come to grip with it. To either root it out or to hide it within insecurities. And through those insecurities, we hide it. And every time it's being recognized as I thought I hid it, you become offended. No, it doesn't work that way. The word cuts through bone and marrow to find any level of darkness, so that now, when Christ returns, our garment isn't blemished. It's not for someone to attack you or say that or come against you. No. It's the Most High pointing out what's wrong so that we're cleansed each day going towards the kingdom. That's how it works. But then the word comes and they be like, well, hold up now. I can't deal with this. And they become offended because of the word. They don't want to change.
Man.
And what happens?
That's
By and by. And guess what? By and by, when now really the Most High is trying to have them see their fault through the trial so that they can become a better servant for Him. When these things are pointed out, he or she becomes offended so that they can hide the demon now and protect the demon instead of saying, you know what, I'm going to go through the trial and this demon will be rid. It will go. I'm not going to get offended. If something is being pointed out, whatever the case is, I'm going to live with it, go through the trial, and I'm going to stand on the rock. Secure. Clean.
Oh,
so you have a person who endure for a while, but then they go through their trials like what's going on right now. And now what the Most High is doing through all of this, believe it or not, he's trying the hearts and reins of man. What will you do in an emergency situation? How you react right now is how you will react then when the mark of the beast is instituted. That's what's going on. And I'm seeing it every day, folks, brothers and sisters. People are reasoning strictly with their emotions, not on the word of God.
Oh, you shouldn't have left.
It's happening not just in the world. It's happening with, I'm not going to say so-called, because I do believe, with believers. It's happening.
Oh my
where people are actually making a choice against what they know is right. Through fear. I'm seeing it. So what's affecting the Babylonians and the unbelievers, guess what, folks? I'm seeing it affect believers. I see it. Finish reading. Hold up, before you go there, I need you to go down to Matthew 13 and 57. Now, why am I going here? Now let's start dealing with those who stand on the word. Who has, let's start now magnifying those who aren't emotional, who aren't moved in the wrong direction, who's not easily swayed and triggered. These are people with the word, born in people in their homes, and standing as a prophet almost in their area, in full faith and trust on the Most High's word during this whole time. Let's deal with them right now. Because what's going to happen with you, with us, if we're not careful, we'll go to people, try to convince them, try to bring them in, and let them know it's not what they're saying. And if we're not careful, what'll happen is they'll turn on us, and now you'll become the emotional one now. And now Satan has you. All the time we've been bringing this forth, and you've been talking, you've been going out and telling people. I mean, what an opportunity now to get to some of the people you thought you couldn't get to before, right? And you try, and what happens? They turn on you. Now, when people turn on you and betray you in this time, what should be your mental state? How can we overcome that moment, that trial? You're going to people, you're dropping what's going on, and they're rejecting you.
I ain't leaving my man no more.
Now they're rejecting you, and you may get upset and become triggered, and now Satan says, okay, I have someone that's out of their emotions. Let me now get in him. Let me now control him or her through their frustration. Let's get Matthew 13 and 57. Understand this.
Matthew 13 and 57. And they were offended in him.
It says, don't forget, when Christ tried to bring the truth, they were offended in him. We had our own people were offended in Christ because he was pointing out what was going on, the kingdom to come, how they need to come out of this world and follow truth. Guess what? It made a large majority of our people during Christ's time offended. They were mad. They were angry at him. And really, Christ's whole life was to protect and to guide them into his kingdom. And guess what? You had those of his own country, his
Bro,
own
you supposed to be
area,
by the 3-point
who
line,
wouldn't
man.
receive it, who were offended. How dare you come to me with this mess? Right? Listen.
A prophet is not without honor, save in his own country.
It says, Christ says, a prophet is not without honor, even in his own country. So keep in mind, Christ said he must go. If he don't go, the Holy Spirit cannot come. And it says, greater shall these works be in you. The greater means in number. So Christ, through his Spirit, is in all the believers who are baptized. So if they rejected Christ, now you're being used as a vessel that he's using. So now you're in Christ being used to talk to your family and those you know and all that. And understand, if Christ was rejected, they're going to reject you. He didn't become triggered. He didn't become upset. He didn't go cry to someone and say, well, listen,
Bro, what the
I tried to go to this person and they didn't want to listen, and my cousin was, he wasn't dealing with none of that. Listen, the prophet isn't known in his own place, in his own country. So learn when it's time to just shake off the dust of thy feet, of your feet, and go on, and don't take it personal. Don't take it personal. The kingdom is for a few.
What's up,
Don't
Ty?
get triggered, because now they're going to move you in under Satan. And you're going to start feeling those insecurities, the fear, and all the things that the unbelievers are going through right now, right? So understand that what? A prophet is not known in his own country. And if they reject Christ, they'll reject you. Shake off the dust, keep going. If someone is looking to agitate you and get under your skin or to provoke you, know that you're not dealing with flesh and blood. Know that this is a spiritual battle, that someone's trying to trigger you and bring you into something.
Oh
To
my
gain
God,
access
niggas is
to you.
playing scary, boy.
A spirit. Elder, get Matthew 10 and 21.
We need a 3, bro. We need a 3.
Matthew 10 and 21.
I don't really know how to catch and shoot.
Matthew 10, verse 21.
Read it.
And the brother shall deliver up the brother to death.
So this is what's going
That's
to
why
happen.
I ain't pull it. I knew I was
Understand.
gonna break it.
Go a few verses before that. Matter of fact, let's go straight there, because I have other things to cover. Under this environment of COVID, you're going to have family members delivering their own family members up to death. Did not Christ tell us
That's
that?
it. That's
Read
it.
it again, you're right.
And the brother shall deliver up the brother to death.
And the brother
Let's
shall
go.
deliver up the brother unto death.
Good game, bro.
Did
Yeah.
Christ not see the days we're living in right now, when you can get a text on your phone, and through this text you see your brother over there who's laying in the bed, you told him to go to the hospital,
can't
he
play
didn't want to
Warzone
listen,
right
and now you
now,
want to do something
John.
for the greater good. Get
Who
your
got
brother,
off?
father, or mother on a ventilator so they can call you 7 to 6, 3-4 days later and let you know that, yeah, matter of fact, he's a little worse off than he was in your home the other day. He's dead.
They lost 2 in a row.
Or someone just triggered altogether.
Gotta make a nigga
They
get
just
off.
don't like you. And an opportunity comes to betray you.
Yeah.
And, the government will make it, he'll sweeten the pot a little. So you done turn against your brother or sister. You have an evil eye against your brother and sister. Now Satan is waiting to utilize you as a vessel to kill your own people. Tell me this COVID environment isn't right for exactly
That.
what's being discussed right now.
Yeah.
No one trusts anyone right now.
Yeah.
People don't even want to hug their own families right now.
Man. Stupid.
Let me tell you, the world is failing this test miserably. I mean, with this test right here, man, only thing we have to wait for now is the war. Because in the midst of this, because what's going on, because no one is going to tell you, the 6 feet distancing, along with the mask and all that, isn't about COVID. It's about once they strike Iran. Once they strike Iran, America is going to be under martial law. So they have to now set it in place where all the processing plants and the warehouses are prepared to process people in any respective community. That's what the 6 month, the markings on the supermarkets for. The markings so that now you can get your daily rations being watched by military. That's what this is for. That's what this is for. It has nothing to do with a cold. They're putting everything in place for that war. So if people are going to betray each other right now, and the military hasn't been deployed against us full-fledged yet, and we're losing, we have people losing already the spiritual war. What's going to happen in the next phase? What's going to happen in the next phase? Just think about that. So unless we get our emotions, under wraps, with rational thinking and reasoning, depending on the Most High, unless you, I'm going to tell you, right now, unless you get your emotions under, so if you're a person that you're temperamental, no one can tell you anything, you argumentative, everything is a back and forth, and no one understands you, let me tell you, that's a ticking time bomb. It's time for men and women to get their emotions under wraps. There's no time in this earth right now to be irrational. Okay? Finish reading.
And the father the child.
And the father the child. This is family members going against family members. It's as if Christ gave us a window into us, a time in which we'll be looking at our phones in the same house, giving up the family members in our own home, our own blood relatives. Be giving them up. That's what they were asking me through that COVID alert yesterday. They were asking me that if I see someone in my home that's exhibiting a cough, because suppose you have a son with asthma who always has a cough. Suppose you have a mother who've always dealt with breathing problems and all that. Suppose you have someone obese in their home, and that's a whole other spirit, gluttony, who have breathing problems already. And now you're looking at this, now because the world has become so selfish, it's not that you're just caring about this person and you're giving them up. You are afraid, living under fear, that if it is COVID, what's going to happen to you, that you'll be next. I'd rather have their behind carried out here than them coming to get me. The total spirit of, like the Bible says, the love of many shall wax cold. If it's between you and me, you out of here. Get on that ventilator, die already. Anything? What you got?
Well, I was thinking when you just said that, it was a radio show. I was in the truck the other day.
Yeah.
And the host of the show said,
Wow.
I'm so relieved I finally allowed, since this COVID thing started, my children to hug my grandparents. So for months, this guy is saying for months, the children weren't even allowed to touch the grandparents. To show you how cold and weird this thing has gotten to be. You understand? So, this fear is insane. I couldn't imagine months, and your grandparents come around, grandparents want that hug,
Yeah.
They're like, whoa, what up?
Yeah.
What you doing?
And see, you have to understand the psyop also. Like ancient Babylon was confusion. The psyop is when Bill Gates come on and say something, and another guy come on and say, what's his name? The guy from the OJ trial or whatever. Dershowitz. Well, we have to drag you out and send you to a doctor's office and jab you. You have to realize, folks, that's psychological warfare
I got yours.
more so than anything. That's all that is. It's not about whether or not they're going to do it. It's to put it in the minds of people right now so that they can act today as if someone is actually implementing that right now through military. So that now you can be fearful of that and begin to react based on it.
Yeah, see what I'm saying?
Okay. So when people start giving me all these news and talk about, and I'm looking outside and I see the birds chirping,
like
I see the dogs running around the trees, I see people walking
Hall
around,
of Fame.
and I'm looking at a person looking at me as if someone just Black Ops just came down with a rope on their house and just kicked open the door with a whole pocket full of vaccine. Not to say we shouldn't have some level of spiritual urgency, but we're not supposed to lose our minds through their psyops. They're going to use the videos. They're going to use these set up photo and film opportunities.
Me too, bro.
To put people everywhere inundated under the spirit of fear. Let me tell you, I know people who haven't even came off of their block, folks. Only once or twice since this whole thing happened.
I'm red.
I'm like, listen, you'll never get those days back. Every day they're looking at me, and I'm coming back, and then you can see them looking through the window. How you doing? You want an orange? This is what these grow outside. Days you'll never get back.
Beat that.
No faith. No faith. That's how you know these people never believed in the Almighty. Their belief is in this system, and that will lead to the mark of the beast. That will also lead to them having their children acquiesce to the mark of the beast. It's going to be a rough deal.
Wow.
But, hey, we're going to be in the wilderness flipping pancakes. Tell you that right now. Okay. Let's go.
And the children shall rise up against their parents.
The children shall rise up against their parents. I'm saying that too.
Boy, they
you don't
playing,
man. You don't take you to the hospital. Took it to the hospital. Right? Boom. And what happens? She's dead as a doornail.
Why they keep making me lay it up?
Say, I've seen it. What I'm giving you, this is not a hypothetical right now. I know someone who was so worried about their mother, they took their mother to the hospital and her mother was killed on a ventilator.
I was thinking all that thing.
Like if you would have been home, if she would have still been home, days after that, your mother would still be living. And I'm going to show you the confusion in people's minds. They don't even look at it like, well, okay. They thought that they were actually taking their mother someplace to get medical attention, to feel better. They're so disconnected that they don't even realize that indirectly you are an accomplice to your own family, your own mother, your own family dying.
Unknown Clutch, what's up?
The love of many shall wax cold. You're not even thinking like, okay, now because you're so confused, you forgot it was you who triggered the whole thing that allowed it to happen. So now you created a new reality in your mind. Man, this COVID thing, boy, it's real. I'm gonna tell you, it took my mama. What are you talking about? No, you took your mama.
Right.
It's that cognitive dissonance. Who can actually accept that? So that's that reality one would create for themselves. Your mama wasn't dead, was she? So no one who can live with that? So they create their own realities, and now they're now agents for COVID. Agents for this world. with the Babylonian mark in their mind. The mark starts with confusion. And folks, what I just said, what I just seen, what I witnessed, I can give you more than one of account of the same thing. When someone pushed their family member into their own grave under this whole thing. My mother called me the other day and said, "Oh yeah, Junior, my nurse said that maybe I need to do something to check my heart." I'm like, I'm gonna tell you this right now. I told you again. I told you before. I'm gonna tell you again. Okay. Okay. Drink some water. Take the vitamins I gave you. Eat some good food, and you'll be alright. An elderly person, it's almost a death sentence for someone over 65 to actually go and get on a ventilator. Ventilator is one stage before what? Death. You can't have a machine breathing for you, expanding your lungs at the age of 75, 80 years old. And then she called me the next day. And like, "Oh yeah, I'm feeling fine." So that lets me know that it's these nurses out there that be visiting people's houses, be planting these seeds in people's heads. So the next time a nurse show up, guess who's there with the nurse? Okay, it's gonna be me. I'm gonna look at the nurse and say, "Listen, don't be feeding
Now,
fish."
this is a real breakfast
Okay.
sandwich.
Okay, I don't believe none of they came out of.
What up, bro?
And some people might ask, well, where does that leave us? There is no home.
What's
We're
cracking?
still in the wilderness. We're here stuck, right? We're not stuck. The Most High seen this moment. We just going. He's just taking us through a trial to see who's worthy to make it. See? But the forsaken her must first start here. You can't believe the confusion. The confusion leads to fear, and the fear again, brothers and sisters, leads to betrayal. So now we have to get our minds out of this and say, well, okay, it's time to stand on that rock, temperate, strong. Okay, it's time to link in with the brotherhood, it's the sisterhood. It's time to put all of our cares and our personal cares away and focus. And focus.
Oh, you in the kitchen now.
Clear-minded.
You whipping it.
What happened yesterday is over. Doesn't matter. Today, I'm clear-minded. If there's anything that, any loose ends I need to clear, I'm clearing them up now.
Oh, really?
So that I can be what? Stable, focused in this time. It's just I would have healed Babylon.
Man?
What?
Trying to get on the
She's not healed.
But she is
Star
not
Wars.
healed. Read.
Forsake her.
Forsake her.
Are
Let
going
us
to
go
the wreck.
everyone into his own country.
Now, why did the Most High say do this?
Oh, you trying to play in the park?
For her judgment.
For her judgment reacheth unto heaven. Folks.
Oh, yeah.
Tell us in the book
That's
of
the truth.
Obadiah. We know Esau. We know Edom. We know who they are. In the book of Obadiah.
Cap on
when it
that.
says that he shall set his nest amongst the stars. Travel outside the firmament of the earth. That was Satan's plan to do what? To get back out to the cosmos using Esau to get there.
Do you?
So because they're now building their satellites and space stations and habitations in heaven, the Most High is now entering this realm.
You chilling.
So most people are more focused on what the government is saying about COVID than what our God is about to do with a serious intervention for us. I don't just think that, I know that. You're more concerned about what Bill Gates is saying and what this person, not saying you should ignore it, but we more so should understand that this is what keeps us level and temperate and knowing the Most High's hand in all of this.
I ain't even mad at that.
Who do you fear more? Them or him? Read the first verse.
51, verse 1, Jeremiah. Thus saith the Most High, the Lord. Behold, I will raise up against Babylon.
He will raise up against Babylon, read.
And against them that dwell in the midst of them.
And we know the raising up is the war with Iran. Isaiah the 13th chapter lets you know it has nothing to do with Russia. Russia is Esau.
Trash niggas.
He's talking about the war
That's
he's
getting
stirring up.
on, yeah.
Okay?
You ain't lying.
Because Iran is being provoked right now. By you got it, Esau over there in the Middle East. Over there in the Middle East, after going into the land that belonged to us, they're now provoking Iran. But God is in this war. It will break Babylon, and after this, Babylon will never be the same. She will never shine in her glory again after this war. Guaranteed. So what's going on is they're really lightening the load to something.
Oh yeah, I just got a center too.
Taking away its luster bit by bit, knowing that it's falling.
Yeah, he just sent me
knowing that
in, but
eventually after the war there'll be nothing left. Folks, why is it we fearing right now? Because folks, this is the cost for freedom. We have to go through Jacob's trouble. The land that we've always
Had the
upheld
Artizt.
must fall. It's the cost of freedom. Do you really want to be free or equal? That's the question. And only those that are looking to uphold this thing will betray and harm their own brothers and sisters when realized it doesn't matter what you do. She cannot be healed anyway. Take your heart out of it. It's okay.
You think so?
Now, what I'm stating prophetically, it's not like it's going to happen in a few days or in a few months.
And one in Europe.
But it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And I'm keeping a close eye on the next administration. Okay?
Right.
The next 4 years, which will be that 3.5 years of that Jubilee. That's where the Bible tells us that we must make it past the 1,203 score days. We have to make it past that time up to the 4th meeting. Okay? So, yeah.
Right.
I'm not fearful because I understand the Most High's hand in this. I understand through baptism we are now a part of His body, and He is making a way for us. 100% sure, confident. But we must fear the Most High more so than what we.
I don't know. That's a good question.
To Him in these times.
Oh, right.
Look out for each other. Find out whether or not someone.
Right.
You know, it's time. It's time for charity. Charity.
Like, nigga, you bloody wanker.
It's time to get love back. Because the love of many is waxed cold. Babylon is taking love away. Okay? Finish reading.
In the midst of them that rise up against a destroying wind.
You bloody wanker.
He will send unto Babylon fanners.
That shall fan her.
That means what? If you're fanning what? A fire. Due to war. Read.
And shall empty her land.
And shall what?
Empty her land.
Empty her land. So eventually we're going to be going one way or the other. Babylon will be empty. Read.
For in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. Against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow.
Come on.
And against him that lifteth himself up in his brigandine.
Bro.
And spare ye not her young men. Destroy ye utterly all her hosts.
Come on.
Thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans.
In the land of the Chaldeans. That's their top sorcerers. Go on.
And they that are thrust through in her streets. For Israel hath not been forsaken.
Because what?
For Israel hath not been forsaken.
Folks, you don't have to fear. You wonder, well, how is it going to happen? People in jail and people don't got money. Everybody don't got passports. See, that's your issue. You've always viewed solutions or view everything through what? A negative.
Why you say that?
You're not viewing through the Almighty.
Yeah, I think so.
Which allows you to exercise the power of faith. You're not viewing that way. You're viewing from a defeated posture,
right.
A slave's posture.
But I'm me.
Of obstacles first.
Right.
Well, suppose people this. I can't get this. I can't. Listen, if you say you can't get it,
no, I can't hear nothing but me.
You're not gonna get it. You've already
good.
Put a stumbling block in front of yourself because now you're not focused on how to get it. You're more focused on the obstacle.
Right, yeah.
It is possible.
You bloody wanker.
It is possible.
Yeah, they be tripping in Europe.
You look at obstacles first. When Christ says, listen, if you have the faith of a mustard seed, see that mountain over there?
They the Sabbath.
You can move that mountain from over there to over here. What did the Most High say? Have our God ever forsaken us?
You already know.
That's a slave mentality. The person is always looking at the negative of why they can't do something. And that's really in life in itself The difference between someone who succeeds and a person that fails. They have the same talent. The only difference is the person that succeeds is not looking for an opportunity to fail, or the obstacle that would lead to the failure. Well, look at that wall right there. You know, so I'm gonna stand right here because maybe someone can knock down the wall, and then I could probably walk through it. Then I can go. No, that it's a wall there. Okay. The wall was built by who? Men. Okay. Okay. Can you get around the wall? Can you get over the wall? Okay. You know somebody on the other side of the wall? Maybe there's a door that you can walk through. But we're sitting there just looking at the wall. That's a lack of faith. See, and this is, and it goes into another emotion, panic. I'm sorry I didn't have that on the list. That's the worst of all of the emotions. One who would announce panic. Okay, these are they who's going to kill everyone, and they're going to kill themselves too.
Right.
Read that last piece again.
Israel hath not been forsaken, nor Judah of his God.
Nor Judah of his God. You think the Most High don't know we're here? You think the Most High is going to allow us to go through this? Did the Most High say that he will be a wall of fire round about us in the wilderness? Did not he promise that for us? Do you believe that? I do. Like I said, I tell people over and over again, I'm going to be in the wilderness making pancakes. Do the Most High will. I'm going to be a servant. I'm going to do whatever you need me to do on this side. And listen, once I'm in the wilderness, there ain't going to be no need to teach. I'm fine. Let me get some flour, and I'm going to be whipping up some unleavened bread. Okay. That's going to be my duty. If I can do anything, I'm fine. I don't need to teach. I'm going to finish my job over here. Where the pancakes at? I don't need none of it. Whatever the Most High have for me at that side, I'll deal with it. But our task here is to bring the children of Israel back to Christ, have them cleanse themselves so that their vessels can be used for the Most High's power against the enemy. That's our position right now. And He'll make a way. Okay. If there's paperwork needs to be gotten, it will be gotten.
Many times you see people overcome court situations and everything with the Most High wanted to happen.
Man, listen. Man, let me tell you. We had a situation where a brother came back, and I'm going to mention his name. You know, he ended up going into family court. Now, how many times you know family court side with the male or the man? The brother goes into the court. The judge seen him and spoke with him and says, you know what? I don't know why, but you, young man, you get full custody of your children. And a matter of fact, I know you've been traveling overseas and all that. I will not put any restrictions on where you can go with you and your children. Boom. Court adjourned. Huh? How many of you have ever seen that? And then, you know, he called me. I said, I told you it was going to be fine. He said, the judge, he says, Elder, I just sat there and I said, we talked, I was there.
I don't know if I'm be able to shoot in Europe, though, man.
And I'm like, and you got full custody of your children? Yes, I do. And he says, Elder, this is deep because something I didn't even ask for. I wasn't even asking if I'm going to travel with the children because I do work outside the country. He just said out of nowhere, out of his mouth, that I see you be traveling outside the country, and I'm going to make sure all the passports of your children be given back to you, and I'm not going to restrict your travel. You can go anywhere you want. And you know what? Was I surprised? No, that's the God we serve. Okay? Come on.
the midst of Babylon.
Flee out of the midst of it, and it starts with that mark out of the mind. Read.
And deliver every man his soul.
And deliver every man his soul. Read.
Be not cut off in her iniquity.
And be not cut off in her iniquity. This world is filled with sin. Okay? The alternative lifestyles being promoted and all that. He says be cut off from it, because all this is part of their satanic religion. They breed, let me tell you, they breed on death. Separate yourself from their sins. Follow the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Almighty. Read.
For this is the time of the Lord's vengeance.
For this is the time of the Lord's vengeance. Our God is about to put a foot on it. Do you fear what's going on right now with COVID or him?
I don't fear COVID.
His fight is for us, because no one in this earth is fighting for us. No one is standing for us. So since there's no one standing for us, our God have taken up the fight. The next war frees the children of Israel. We're going to be exactly where the Most High says we're going to be. How are we going to get there? The first step is to separate ourselves from the sin, be baptized, and link into the work of the Almighty and be guided. Where two or more gathered, He's in the midst, and we'll all be there together.
Right.
If you believe.
That's what the Most High thought, like. That's what he said.
I'm here, bro.
Read it.
He will render unto her a recompense. Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand.
It's been a golden cup in the Lord's hand,
That made all the earth drunken.
and it made all the earth confused, drunk. That's what you see.
You playing
walking around.
twos or ones or threes?
A bunch of people walking around outside on a clear summer day with masks on. Satan had
What's that?
cast a spell,
Maybe 2 more sandwiches.
made you believe that there's some airborne disease, and it doesn't
Huh?
exist. There is no
You acting like
airborne
you
disease.
care for 'em.
They're seeing how much their witchcraft has taken.
You're a liar.
I've made the many examples of people in their car with a mask
I
on,
said, end quote, they ain't better than them Philly cheesesteaks now.
with their windows rolled
That
up.
don't mean that
in
was.
the car by themselves
know
with
what?
a mask on. The threat of COVID is who? You? If it is, then
I'm
aren't
supposed to
you
be like,
breathing
oh, that
inside
was
your mask
delicious.
already? And this is, let me tell you, and this is not just a black thing. I mean, this ain't just specifically black. I'm seeing more white
Where you
people
at, bro?
than black people outside. I drove down to Rittenhouse Square the other day, and they're all out Rittenhouse Square, even though they have their chairs outside where you can eat and have your mask off, while the waiters and waitresses have their masks on. But the people that's walking on the outside of the tables at the restaurants in Rittenhouse Square are walking with their mask on, saying, "Excuse me," hoping not to trip over a chair where a line is, where people have chairs in the street for outdoor dining. And the person that's eating don't have a mask on.
Oh, trying to go to wreck, man.
But it says made all the earth drunken. The whole earth
Think
shut
you
down.
slick,
The
man.
whole earth is drunk. The whole earth is drunk. Okay?
You think you're slick.
They're confused. And I'm just, when I be walking by, I don't know, I'm like, can they see me? I mean, I'm walking, they don't even say anything to me. I'm just walking through seeing a bunch of sleep, drunk, confused people. And it's a shame, because it's the hope they had in Babylon that have caused them to be living in this confusion right now. Because when they had an opportunity, when the word was freely given, these same people were rejecting it. Same people who said we were crazy, folks. They claimed we were crazy. Now, and all these to-do-good people that you thought had it going on, let me tell you, they don't. They don't have no answers. They have no answers. They're drunk. Read on.
The nations have drunken of her wine.
All the world, like you mentioned, have drunken her wine. Read.
Therefore the nations are mad.
And they're mad. They went insane. That's why they're easily triggered now. The whole world is crazy. And the only people that's left with any level of sanity are those who believe in the Most High and are standing with this word. We're the only sane ones left, folks. We're the only sane ones left. I was speaking to a woman yesterday, and I was conversing with her, Iraq, and I said, she was like, yeah, this COVID is real. I'm like, yeah, COVID is real. I'm like, did you hear about the 200 deaths that were taken off of the rolls of COVID in Pennsylvania? She was what? She says, what 200 deaths? I'm like, they took off 200 people that didn't die of COVID. They just put those numbers there last month. And just the other day they reported that they just took 200 people off it. And you can see, and you can tell the confusion. There's a wall that goes up where they just stop and just look without blinking. Because they can't fathom that. Because if she was receiving what I was saying, there's a good chance somebody she know was actually killed. So she's just sitting there just looking blank. You there?
Oh wow, everybody done quit.
That means they can actually at any time give you any numbers they would like to give you under this, whether they're true or not.
Another point they had
What
in
that
Florida.
on?
Guess I'll take that win.
In Florida, they discovered that
What you
a
say?
lot of the testing sites, some of the testing sites, that people that they were actually reporting 100%
Right.
positive tests. In other words, let's say 500 people go to that testing site, almost 500
Right.
people have the COVID. Now, how's that possible? You see?
That's an impossible.
So they just walked in the
They
building.
found in Florida that every test was positive. Why? Because the test came to the facility positive already. But I'm explaining it to the woman, and she's looking at it because I'm trying to break her psychosis. Well, I know somebody. I'm like, well, yeah, but 200 people that was on the rolls in which they claimed that people shouldn't get together last month because they claimed that all of these people were dying. Those same 200 people that made it a pandemic at pandemic levels are now taken off of the rolls of COVID deaths in Pennsylvania. I just asked for that. That means if they didn't have that
What up, Cordell?
that 200
What's cracking, Brody?
deaths last month, they would have already went through all the phases. They just put the 200 there.
Grind
so they
don't
can
stop.
Keep the COVID mask and all the implementation in place.
Yeah.
And then I said to him, like, well, people have died of
Yeah.
other things.
You want me to toast it with butter?
Yeah. And put some jelly on that
She's
thing.
a white woman, but she's looking at me, but she's not looking at me like, okay, how dare you and all that. You can see when I said that.
Right. That's the nigga I'm guarding, and I got him.
Something clicked with me. I thought, I'm like, people died of other things last year.
I got the
But have a great day. I'm here to get my groceries, and I'm on my way out the door. I make sure I grab my mask off as soon as I can.
Oh, buddy.
And I'm walking out the door without a mask.
Oh, buddy.
Meet the person coming in.
That's somebody else.
Shalom. All right. I wanted to go into the wall today, but I'm going to save that because the people that are left in this cognitive dissonance and believe what's going on, well, these are the people they're going to have attack each other at the end of it. You betray one another, then they put a wall around you, and those that betrayed one another will begin to kill each other.
Act like it. Act like it.
In 70 AD, at the time in which our people lost Jerusalem. So those who betray each other don't think you're going to get away. They just want to put a garrison around.
Oh,
you
you ain't X. You ain't X. Use the X. Circle.
I'll be going into that this coming Wednesday. This lesson this Wednesday, this discussion this coming Wednesday will be titled, listen to me, see, I know you're listening, The Wall. The Wall will be our discussion this coming Wednesday. Also, I have a special guest. I may have a special dispensation.
Yeah, they're going to mess the game up.
Off-day broadcast. Because I think we're going to have a doctor, someone world-renowned, and most people know who's going to come into one of our broadcasts, depending on what day he's free.
Right.
So we may have some extra treats. We may have 2 broadcasts this coming week with the doctor. Okay? But the first one, this week we'll be going into The Wall.
No, he ain't got nothing coming. I'm on him.
Okay? Finish reading a few more verses and then we'll open it up for calls. The mark of Babylon. And don't forget that mark is the image of the beast.
51:8, Jeremiah.
Come on.
Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her?
How for her?
Atone for her pain.
Come on.
If so be she may be healed.
Come on.
Nothing, buddy.
We would have healed Babylon.
Nothing. Oh, come
but
on.
She is not.
Don't get the. Oh, wow.
What?
Forsake her.
Oh,
Forsake her.
wow.
And let us go everyone into his own country.
And that's going to happen, folks. Read. This is why the gospel was spread all over the world. The gathered Christ Church, we went all throughout the earth, like the Bible says in Jeremiah, we went down like he-goats before the flock.
I ain't even taking the ball out.
So there's life outside of Babylon. Okay? There's life outside of Babylon.
Oh my God.
We are about to experience it.
That's my fault. I thought you was cutting.
Judgment reacheth unto heaven. And
how you like your service back?
Even to the skies, they're out in space.
You see what's going on, bro.
They've actually
I got little men trying to set me screens. Stupidity.
Which means America in this
Big
world
niggas,
man, have accomplished what Nimrod couldn't at the Tower of Babel. They're out there now. But watch the Most
I'm not supposed to hit that hook.
Dude, he's coming to this realm and this space junk is crashing all into these cities.
Let's go then.
Our Lord and Savior is coming. Okay? This coming Wednesday, The Wall. Okay? Now, let's get it again. Luke 12:8 and 9. And I need to get one more scripture where it says, set a mark on those that sigh and cry.
That's my man.
You got it? I got it. Ezekiel, the 9th chapter.
No.
Let's start at let's start at 4. Ezekiel 9 and 4. So this is what the angels are doing right now, folks. Read.
Ezekiel 9 verse 4. And the Lord said unto him, Go through the midst of the city.
Go through the midst of the city.
Through the midst of Jerusalem.
That's wherever God's people are.
And set a mark upon the forehead of the men that side and that far, for all the abominations that have been done in the midst thereof.
The people who are tired of the wickedness that are being perpetrated on God's people. Who's tired of the letter campaigns and the sexual perversions and the molestations and the death and destruction that's promoted throughout these cities. The Most High have sent the angels into this earth to set a mark on those who are tired of the sin, tired of God's people.
You gotta shoot that, bro.
Read.
And to the others he said,
You
And
should have
to
shot
the
that.
others he said, in mine hearing,
go ye after him,
Yeah, it was last second.
and smite.
Lord, have
Let not your
mercy.
eyes spare, neither have ye pity.
these are they who've always believed in Babylon,
Oh,
who didn't
my
receive the mark of Christ, which is the Holy Spirit.
man, it's like
Those
they.
that have always been down with
Wow.
the traditions of this world, rejecting God, guess what? Their end has been prophesied from the heavens.
In reality,
So if you're marked with the seal of Christ, there's nothing to worry about. You are protected. But
Period.
the others will be what? Read it.
Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Slay utterly, old and young,
Slay utterly old and young. Read.
both maids and little children.
Maids and little children, because they're training their children to be Babylonians. Read.
And women,
And what?
and women.
And women too. Read.
But come not near any man,
Mm.
upon whom is the mark.
You better not come
Mm.
against. You will not touch those that are protected by me. Folks, do y'all believe that? Do you believe that the Most High, through Christ, can protect us through this?
Yes.
I do. Have total confidence. Because he said it.
Shoulda
He said he
cut,
was going
bro.
to
You
captivity.
gotta cut,
Guess what?
bro.
You was picking those peas and cotton, weren't you? Well, he
I
just
say
told
you
us
gotta
this,
cut.
that if we seal through the Holy Spirit, we'll be guided through.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay.
And begin at my sanctuary.
And
I ain't
begin
gonna
with
say
my
nothing. I'm
people.
throwing the oop.
The destruction will not come to the other races first. Warn my people first, and if they reject it, you know what? Hand them over.
Shout out to the
death
chat.
angel.
Hit the
What are we
sub
witnessing
button.
right now, folks? What are we witnessing? People giving up their own families. That's what we're witnessing. The death angel has come all through this world.
Oh, they
As
arguing.
an amendment. The Most High's hand is in this. Starting with our people, because our
Don't even
people
make sense, do it.
don't want to listen. This is why the enemy have targeted our people. Now, so it's going to be our people, the same people who believe this crap and not trust on the Most High, that's going to line up their children for these
My man leaving
GMO
me
vaccines
open.
that's
My
gonna
man leaving
jack
me
their
open.
children. And even worse, subsequent to that. Okay? But there's a mark. This is the mark of the Holy Spirit, that we're sealed with His Spirit, Christ's Spirit, into the day of redemption. And that's the Spirit that guides us through, that will guide us through. And the spirits that are over the ministers that are executing what we see today, they tremble at the name of our God.
Yeah, you did.
Okay? So, brothers and sisters, stay strong, courageous. I'm gonna tell you,
Right.
put all those
So they playing with no
silly
comp at
emotions
all.
and all those little cares and all those things behind us, and let's stand bold in the knowledge of the Almighty and on His commandments, on His laws, going forward. Let's not be easily
Period.
tricked. Put all our troubles and say, Lord, listen, I was tripping. Use me now.
Yes.
Okay, I'm good now. I'm no longer confused.
Help me stop it.
I no longer fear. And through that, I will not betray
I let
my brother.
cloud my judgment.
All right.
He act on reason according to the word.
And don't forget, folks, I'm going to need y'all in that Hebrew and Bible Academy. I'm going into Abraham, promise, going into the history of Abraham, and more information on how the fallen gods and their children were able to make it to this side of the flood tomorrow. So that they could one day, I'm going to break that down tomorrow, so that they can one day own the land that's called Canaan. Satan was trying to get his children to inhabit the land, which is the land of Eden, our promised land that they've taken. before the children of Israel would receive it through a promise. That the giants and Nephilim would be there first. But then the Most High before that, subsequent to that, would show our father Abraham a promise.
My man.
Of how not only will Abraham receive the promise, but how he would use the children of Abraham to defeat the enemy who was inhabiting our homeland. And guess what, folks? It's going to happen again. The Academy tomorrow, the Hebrew and Bible Academy, go to historytimes.org. You don't want to miss it. You're going to learn more about our father Abraham than you've ever learned before. Okay. And we're going to touch on that, Abraham's birth, what happened in his birth, why he was born, the whole, and then we're going to go into the New Testament to show you that the promises that was given to Abraham, they never changed. Those promises of us one day receiving
What
this
happened?
earth
Tia gonna post
never
a little pool
changed.
inside, I
It's an
guess, they
unfulfilled
house,
promise.
her mom's house, and they
That
say,
Christ
oh, my
was teaching,
parents
that the
don't mind,
disciples
it's
were
hot
teaching,
outside.
and that the Gentiles, when they
inside
took the
food
land,
it is.
they began to teach a false doctrine called replacement theology to make you believe it was them,
Oh, wow.
and that they can be replaced
Next
as
to the
spiritual
couch.
Israelites. Because
Where you
why
gotta
did they
go
say
watch
spiritual
TV.
Israelites? Because they could not deny that the promise of Abraham would go to the children of Israel. But no spiritual Israelites, folks. Physical Israelites, and they know it. I'll be touching on that also tomorrow. Okay, and breaking down some of the misconceptions of Paul concerning Paul's writings tomorrow in the Academy.
Hey, hit a time out.
historytimes.org. Now, I'm only in what, week 3, right? So yeah, we're only in week 3. It's just the beginning, really. So all you have to do is enroll, go to historytimes.org, and what we'll do is we'll make sure, as a caveat like we do, it's only week 3, we'll make sure you receive all the lessons you missed if you're new. You receive the creation of the universe in its entirety, the news segments, and the Hebrew that came with that. And week 2, you'll also receive week 2, tracing the serpent seed. We actually went also into the East Indians, how their worships, the Hindu worship, is one of the highest satanic worships on earth. Okay, we went into that also. So, tracing the serpent seed. You don't want to miss that. So, if you enroll, we'll make sure you get all what you've missed, and you'll be ready for tomorrow. Okay, the promises of Abraham. You don't want to miss it. All right. So, what I'm gonna do now? Let me open up for calls. I'm just gonna take about 30 minutes of calls, and then 1 moment, 1 second. Let me call. I'm bringing in the Skype calls now. The mark of Babylon. You don't change your mind 9 times out of 10. If you believe in this COVID crap and begin to betray your brothers and sisters eventually, you will be marked with the mark of the beast eventually anyway. Okay. Because it's those in that particular mindset who will actually line up to be chipped. Okay? You good?
I guess I just got the paint wide open for y'all.
And I thank you for your help today, my brother. Let me pull in now. I can't wait for tomorrow. I know that news is going to be what my son called lit. All right, 1 moment. One second, I'm looking.
Let them come back then.
Oh, all right, we're about to bring in the phone calls. 605-9327. Okay. All right. Take your calls. Any questions or comments? What's going on in your area, whatever the case is, I'll be more than happy to give you the floor. Okay, yeah, we have people there waiting. Okay, great. One second.
They only down by one.
Okay, all right, great. All right, let's go to the first call,
What up?
910 area code.
We only down by one.
910 area code.
How they come up on us?
Mm-hmm.
How they busting our ass in the third? That's why.
Shalom, you're live with the Gather of Christ Church. Okay. Yes, you're live with the Gather of Christ Church. Now, your name and city?
You're welcome.
Okay. The floor is yours. Talk to us. Shalom, how are you?
Yeah. Good one.
No, sister, I
Yakaraimundo.
received your mask. Thank you very much for those. I received them. Two separate sets. You did a pretty good job with them. As far as the name and all that goes. Yeah, so thank you. I'll be showing them.
Game, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay, maybe
game
there's
in
some
their phone.
disruption in the language. I'll be
You
showing you.
stupid.
I can play better than another dumb shit.
Yeah.
Because y'all was watching outside.
Hold on, hold on one second.
Michelle got hip hop.
We get one. Oh. Say less.
That look like a female.
Hmm. My wife talking to me. What happened?
That look like a female.
Yeah.
It's not.
And I went down and picked up. I said, red from the you.
No, we can't.
And I had not seen those, my grandma, in the early 50s. Once I got old myself, it was in my purse. And I picked it up off the floor and I showed it to my oldest daughter in New York. Uh, but anyway, you no one kept it. And I think oh, and everyone.
Thank you, sister. Great.
For what? What do they need to come to paint for?
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. My bad.
Hey, brothers, this is weird stuff I've never seen. Nice. It's moving my sound.
It's a top ball game, man.
I'm just. All right. I'm just gonna. Here. Very weird.
There you go. And they can't come back. Mmm.
All right. So I'm gonna try to do this, but I've never seen anything like this before. I mean, it's weird, but I'm gonna try to take as many calls as I can and then get ready and prepared for our Wednesday's broadcast. All right. One moment. All right. It's good now. It's good. Let's see. All right. Let's see. All right. 504 area code.
Yeah, Shabbat Shalom. My name is Salika. I'm from the one writing. Because I know I listen to the family services or your family lessons every week, and every week it seems like everything you're saying, honestly, I feel like a lot of times we speaking directly to me, where even like today when you said that you have to have control about something, it's not something that I've never been the type of person to ever have a bad temper. I've never been the type of person to get angry very easy. I feel like honestly, I've always been a very level-headed person. But lately, when I
Mmm.
get upset, I get angry. Like it's a weird kind of rage that I get, and I haven't actually.
Wow.
I've still tried to take
Was that
pictures
a
of it,
3?
but it's a strange thing for it to start happening to me now. And even my sister, who's also very level-headed,
Oh.
she told me she started experiencing the same thing, and I'm not sure if it's because of COVID and everything, the stress and everything.
Oh.
So I thought that was strange. And then two, and I honestly think I'm being tested.
Come on, man.
Their life or something. And again, like I said, I feel like they're speaking directly to me. So I am an assistant manager, basically at a healthcare facility, and
Oh, he ain't
I
finna
had
tie nothing up.
on Tuesday morning. They had just gone back from a trip. Now, mind you, this employee, I have no personal problem with her or anything like that, but she does have a history of like if she doesn't come into work, she'll make excuses. So on this particular day, she called in and she said, "Oh, I want to see if I can work the second half of the
That
day. I
was
want to go get
tough.
tested because I don't feel good." And to be honest with you, to me, it didn't really sound sincere. But if that's something that she wanted to do, um, I would have never questioned her and told her, "Well, no, you're lying." I would have never done that. But I asked her, I was like, "Well, what makes you think that you might have it?" Because she said, I think I might have it." I was like, "Well, what are your symptoms that makes you think you might have it?" She says, "Oh, my stomach is hurting, and my stomach has been hurting, and I've been having headaches." Based off of the symptoms that they claimed are symptoms of corona. I'm like, well, that doesn't really sound like it. But the thing is, when I explained to her, the thing is, if you think you might have it, I'm not supposed to allow you into work
Bro,
because you can infect other people if you think
I'm
you
going
might
to
have
get
it.
my guard,
Now,
man.
the thinking and saying that is not necessarily I was afraid for myself. It was just that if she were to come into work and she did go get tested and tested positive, then that would put the entire office at risk. Even though I don't necessarily believe in the whole COVID conspiracy, um, it would still put the entire office at risk where we would have to shut down. People would end up losing their jobs again, possibly. Um, and other people would be at risk of having to be tested or put in a position to be tested. I honestly, at that moment, I explained that to her, and I had to talk to my manager about it and see what she said. And I told her the best thing you can possibly do is wait and see if you can quarantine 14 days without getting tested. That's not really up to me. That was something I thought would be reasonable.
Well,
But after
sister,
talking to my manager, she's like, no,
I need to get
because
to, I need you to get to what is your question. I'm with
right.
you.
So my question was that basically in so many words, she had to get tested